This is the plaintiff, John Mobley III. He says he booked some space for the defendant to throw a party, and the guy illegally served alcohol. The cops raided him, shut the party down, and now the guy won't pay him for the rental on the party. The cops even gave him a ticket because he was the booking agent on the party space. The defendant owes him big time, and that's why he's suing for the state max of $5,000. This is the defendant, Patrick Labicieri. He says the plaintiff promised him the party would not get shut down because he knew some off-duty cops, and he also promised he'd get a bar license to sell alcohol. When he went to the store to buy some juice, the cops raided the party, put his aunt and bartender in handcuffs. Now the guy's suing him for the max? Please. He's accused of being a party pooper. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,000 for monies owed.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn.
Thank you, Douglas. John Mobley, you are suing Patrick Labicieri for $5,000 in damages that you say you sustained as a result of him breaching a contract. You have a counterclaim against him for $2,000 because, according to you, he breached the contract. Okay, you are a
booking agent for an event space.
And you had an event.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
was the event that you were trying to have or had?
I was actually throwing an event to raise money for my tuition.
Okay.
And basically, I was promised that the party would not be shut down.
What kind of how can anybody promise you your party's not going to be shut down? If people are punching each other out, your party's going to be shut down. If people are underage drinking, your party's going to be shut down. But so tell me what the plan was. It was to be held on September 20th.
Correct.
Which is the last day, the second to last day before the end of summer.
Yes,
so
correct.
you billed it as a?
End of summer party.
All right. And you were promoting it how?
I paid a few different people to promote the party for me. But like you said, I was a little bit naive to believe that I would be able to throw a party that would not be shut down.
No, you have to just take measures so that you're having a party that police don't want to shut down. That's all, which is a lot, I guess, less desirable for the participant. All right, listen to me. So did you have a contract with him?
Yes, I did.
How much were you going to pay for the party?
I believe it was supposed to be $3,000 in total, and I was using it from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. However, the party was shut down probably within an hour and 40
Okay, how old
minutes.
are you?
I'm 23, Your Honor.
23. All right, do you have the contract?
I do.
Do you have the contract?
No, sir.
Why would you not have the contract when you're being sued? You couldn't find it?
I actually left the copy at my house.
Okay. Who's the gentleman next to you?
This is an eyewitness.
Okay.
He's actually can testify. He was there at the party. He was also there when I was promised that the party would not be shut down, and I went and made a
Stand
cash
up,
deposit.
please. Did someone promise you that party would not be shut down?
I actually went with him, Your Honor. When he made the first deposit, he did say that the party was not going to be shut down. He also
Not shut down if what? Like, how did the concept of a party being shut down get discussed to begin with?
Well, Your Honor,
What were you worried about?
He said that off-duty cops were going to be doing the security,
Right.
so that the party would not get shut down.
Well, yeah, that's always the drill.
Yeah.
Okay, so he told you you'd have off-duty cops, so you'd have a better chance of keeping your party going. All right, but so the real problem that ended up coming up here and everything that blew up had to do with liquor.
Yes.
All right, so when I look at this contract, did this contract allow him?
No. If you look at the contract, Section 8, it's on the second page. For the sale and service of alcoholic beverages, the actual hall is the only entity allowed to provide alcohol.
Right, but did you tell him, okay,
No
the hall
alcohol.
will provide the alcohol?
No alcohol because the defendant said that some of his patrons would be under 20. And I let him know about New York State through the SLA, the State Liquor Authority, that you need to apply for the one-day permit. The one-day permit needs to be applied for 15 days before an event. When he came to make his deposit on September 6th, his event was on September 20th. He would have not had enough time to make the necessary paperwork.
Why? How long in advance do you have to apply for it?
It has to be 15 days in advance that you have to apply for the one-day permit if you want to sell alcohol.
And did you tell him that?
I let him know that on the day of when he made the deposit, and he said,
Well, how did you figure you were going to be selling alcohol?
Actually, Your Honor, what actually happened...
Because your contract does say they're the only ones.
Yeah, well, actually, what was supposed to happen, the day I went to make my first cash deposit, I was actually told that we were going to split the bar 50-50 and that he ensured me that he would get a liquor license the day of. However, I made my second cash deposit the Friday a week prior to the event, and that Saturday he called me and told me I should cancel the party.
Why?
Because he wasn't able to get the liquor license. And
Why wasn't he able to get the liquor license?
Because he wasn't able to get it within a time frame of 15 days. And this actually put me in a bad space because I already spent a lot of money paying people to promote the party, paying DJs, and a whole bunch of other steps I had to take in order to make sure that this party everything was set for that date.
Did that happen?
no. The gentleman.
Show me but you have some text to back up what you're saying.
No, I just have...
Do you not have anything? You come here with just your snazzy suit, nothing else, no evidence, no text. No, you know that you have text. Do you have a phone? Do you bring your phone with you?
Yes,
Why don't you open it up, pal, and look at your text? Okay, you show me your copy of the text. Because there was a text on the Saturday before where there's some concern about the venue.
Yeah, we
what
had an issue. No, we had a previous event that somebody had called and said that they got injured, but it was actually for the wrong venue. So I let him know, like, hey, we can't have any issues. There can't be any alcohol. We can't have anybody drunk outside, etc. Because I found postings that he posted on his social media page advertising that it's his party, so you can get drunk if you want to.
There's more than that.
You can get high if you want to. You can get fly if you want to.
And that's actually from a song, right?
Yeah.
Except for that apparently seems to be your anthem for the party.
I was not the one in charge of the Facebook page.
It has his name.
I know, but it's still what is going. You're in charge of the whole shebang, so you can't divorce yourself of the stuff that. In fact, the Facebook page has your name on it, so I'm not sure what you're saying. And then there's another entry in your Facebook page where you actually say cheap drinks all night long. A week beforehand, he says, "Call me. Got to talk about Friday. May have to cancel." And then you don't call him. You don't talk to him. Then he texts you again on Tuesday. We have to either reschedule or cancel the party for Friday. I have to resolve these issues from Friday's event first. Call me. I got to talk to you about Friday. Finally, on the Tuesday, I guess he responds to you. To be honest, I can't afford to cancel or reschedule the party. I already have $400 on flyers, wristbands, smoke machines. Isn't there anything that can be done? Quote, I don't mind if we have to end the party early or we can't sell liquor. Except for that you did mind because you were selling liquor.
I actually wasn't the one selling liquor, Your Honor.
But you can't, honey. You think you can be in charge of a party and then every time I call you on something you weren't supposed to do, blame it on somebody else?
No.
What do you think I am? Your mother? I'm going to buy this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not going to buy this. It's your party, and if you're going to have a party, you're responsible for everything. The buck stops there. So people were selling liquor at your party. First of all, what time did he get there? Party starts at 10. You got there what time?
Around, I'd say like 10:20, 10.
According to you, he gets there at 11:30. You're
11.
texting him, where are you? Where are you? Look, I'm having a
Because
drink down the block.
I sent a text message to him, let him know security is here. It's around 9:30.
Now, why didn't you insist that security be paid before that night?
Because he was supposed to make the payment ahead of time on the contract.
So then no, there's no party. I mean, you're a businessman. Can't you get him to pay you before?
I knew what he was trying to do I was in college before I threw parties. I know what he was trying to do. I was honestly looking out for a friend.
How'd that work out for you? He's not your friend.
Obviously, I know that now.
Okay.
So
you were trying to let him use the money from the party to pay the bills because he didn't have the money beforehand?
No, he said that he was going to the ATM. What he told me ahead of time on the phone was
Why couldn't he go to the ATM 2 days ago?
What he told me was that, which is why he came late. He said a friend that he was throwing a party with wound up backing out on him, and he didn't have a ride to get there. He actually asked his aunt, who came in more of a formal gown, to bring him over there.
Your aunt came in a formal gown?
Formal gown? No, I don't recall that.
Okay, so your aunt came to help you out?
She's the one that actually dropped me to the event, Your Honor.
And then did she stay?
Yeah, she was.
And she started to work the door?
Yeah.
Okay, so people are fine. How long had people been lining up outside?
People were lined up outside from about 9:45 because the party was supposed to start at 10. So security.
And they stayed?
They stayed outside.
Well, that's a testament to your ability to throw a party because I wouldn't wait 10 minutes in the outside for the party promoter to open the doors.
This party ruined my party throwing
You think?
reputation. I know so.
Yeah, that's why you got to be careful and have a liquor license and maybe throw with a little more advanced timing so that you can actually get that license and et cetera, et cetera. But when I've got texts that clearly say, I don't mind if I can't sell liquor, and then what happens? At the party, they are selling liquor.
Yeah, so what happens is I'm outside waiting for him to show up. He doesn't get there till about 11:15. I'm talking to security because they've been outside for a while, and I'm saying, well, we're not going to let anybody in until he arrives. He hasn't paid, etc. So
Did you pay security?
I paid security. So when he didn't show back up,
Did you get any money from him that night at all?
No, absolutely not.
For anything?
Nothing.
Did he pay for the insurance that night?
No, he didn't. I have
What
copies.
did he pay for ever?
He paid for, I guess, the gas for his aunt to drive him over, but he
Your Honor,
What
this
about, did
man
he
is
put a down
obviously
payment on the
lying.
place?
yeah, he put a down payment. I have a
What was the total charge from the venue?
The total charge was $2,000. He put a down payment on September 6th. Here's a copy
Of
of that receipt
$500?
at $500.
Okay, and
that was
that's
the
it.
only
That's
thing.
the only thing you ever saw?
Yes.
Okay.
Your
And
Honor,
just a moment, sir. And according to you, you didn't pay him the rest of the party because you think that you don't have to because you feel that the police should not shut down a party that doesn't have a liquor license where you knew that you shouldn't be selling liquor.
I mean, I don't think somebody should tell somebody that they'd be able to throw a party that won't be able to get shut down.
I don't think anybody told you you'll be able to throw a party that won't get shut down.
Yes.
If you're doing illegal things, you're going to get shut down. I think what he told you was what we talked about before, which is we're going to hire off-duty cops so that way, it'll be a lot less likely that you get shut down. You know that you couldn't sell liquor, okay? And your answer to the complaint is priceless. I told people I wasn't selling liquor. I just, you do it. I can't mimic you. I can't copy you because you are priceless. You tell me what you were doing that night if not selling liquor.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, be honest with me here. Is it possible to have a rager without alcohol and drugs?
No. I mean, it's possible to go to one without drinking or doing drugs, but it's definitely not possible to, actually have one because no one would go.
Interesting. Okay, very honest.
I agree. I mean, I think if somebody were to throw one without drugs or alcohol, I don't think a lot of people would go, so it wouldn't be a rager.
You guys are very honest. Thank you. That's good. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I was taking donations that would help me pay for my tuition.
I don't care if you're taking donations to be able to feed the hungry in Africa. Do you understand that because I'm not even sure it's true, but do you understand that you cannot do it? You cannot,
Yes, Your Honor.
because when you sit there and tell me how you were, I would serve people drinks, and then if they wanted to do a donation and help me pay for tuition, they could put some money right there, right after I hand them the drink. What do you think? You're the first clown to come up with this? I mean, the government is going to take their chunk out of your hide no matter what.
Yeah.
They're gonna. This is not, and this is New York. They have perfected taking a chunk out of your hide. Believe me, they're not gonna, this is not their first rodeo. Okay. Now, I understand why you're suing for $1,500, which you say is the remaining balance of the hall. The bill for the security is $600 something, but you say that you paid them $500 and that
Yeah,
they're
because the
apparently
event got shut down early.
And the amount paid for party insurance, can I see the proof of that?
Yeah. So I'm handing you the certificate of liability insurance, the total, and then my bank statement showing that I paid it.
And now what's this lost work and legal fees?
Because of the event that had occurred, there were other
The
clients
fact that it got shut down?
There were other clients that were driving by in the area, and after his event, we had 3 events where police came in to baby showers, sweet 16s, looking for alcohol.
Maybe you should be more careful and not get information.
Absolutely.
So how's that? But I should pin that on him and make him pay you an extra $3,000 over that. That
Well, a
you
lot
were
of-
doing kind of loosey goosey in the way you were
we had a
booking
lot
this
of
stuff.
the cancellations that happened afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You have your counterclaim against him for $2,000 for what?
For wasting my time and my money. I feel like the only
You were $500 into this party. I guess you also spent some time promoting it or money that you. But oh, by the way, when the police shut the place down, what did they do with the proceeds at the front?
they took it as well as they took all the closed bottles, which was literally one bottle, which I told the bartender do not sell alcohol.
You're such a liar.
It was for.
I see all over your promotion stuff about cheap drinks. You tell me how you were accepting donations.
Of the party,
you have a bartender. Oh, by the way, but don't do your job. What's a bartender there for if not to serve alcohol? What are you talking about?
People were able to buy juice beverages.
You know what? It's better if you stop. It's better if you stop because you're right. You're really affecting your ability to ever throw a party again. Okay. On the counterclaim that you have against him, 0. On your claim against him, I find that you owe the rest of the deposit. I find that you are unable to prove that you paid him for security or that you paid the insurance. Do you claim you paid the insurance?
Yes, Your Honor. They brought me back into the place, and then they were trying to interrogate me like it was Law and Order or something, telling me I was gonna get my checks waived, I can get thrown in jail. They literally, and then he even sent, I have proof he sent me threatening text messages.
Yeah, the next day saying, what the heck, you left me with a big bill and you've got to pay this stuff. In fact, according to you, you stopped him from getting arrested.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but you say that you had the security sweet talk the cops and then they just handed out tickets.
Well, no, the security went over and explained what the scenario was. He wasn't supposed to have alcohol. These are some young kids trying to do something because I don't know if it was his girlfriend, whoever the bartender was supposed to be selling alcohol, and his aunt were all in handcuffs.
Was that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, you were going downtown.
The security guard talked to them. I don't know what was all said, but they wind up just handing out summonses and telling them, look, you got to straighten up about who you wind up booking, etc.
And then they gave you a summons.
Yeah, I actually got a summons. There's a copy of the summons that I actually had to go to court for yesterday.
Good, you should. Okay, so he's not going to pay for your summons. All right, I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the rest of the venue fee, the $1,500, the $500 for security, and the $235 for insurance. I'm not finding in your favor for lost work and legal fees. So there's a sum total judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $2,235. And then how much was made at the door that the police confiscated?
I have no idea.
Do you have an idea or no?
Yeah, I do.
How much was it?
They took about $600 and about
the whole thing wasn't even worth it, was it?
No, Your Honor.
Pity. Okay, $2,235 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the defendant's out here first after losing this case. What's going through your mind here after going through that?
I don't think I should have lost that case. It was totally bogus. The only thing I feel I'm guilty of is being an overambitious young man who was fooled into believing I would be able to throw a party that wouldn't be shut down.
Yeah. Are you going to keep throwing parties?
No.
Why not?
I actually just want to finish my education and probably become a doctor or a lawyer.
Oh, really?
Or maybe even a judge. I might be judging, doing something.
And how are you going to pay for it if you're not throwing parties?
Make an honest living, find a 9 to 5, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right, head right down there. Follow Officer McIntosh. Okay, step on in here. Satisfied how this comes out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the ruled in my favor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did.
I think could have went a little bit further. I think with the lost revenue that we didn't have, but I'm satisfied with the judgment.
You have a lot of experience renting out these places. Where did this all go wrong on you?
I think I saw a little bit of myself in him, being a young college student looking to throw a party to raise some money for tuition. So I think I let that get ahead of me.
Says he's not going to throw any more parties. He's going to get a 9 to 5. You believe him?
No, I don't think he likes to pay for anything. So.
Over to Harvey.
Let me just give you one quick warning. If you're a parent and you let your kid rent out a space like this for a party or whatnot, you really better know what the deal is before you do it, because there are possibilities of you being on the hook. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.